and it is 8 o'clock Central Time, and we are live. It is July 31st, 2022, and I want to welcome everybody to the Hashtag405 Sunday show, which probably is going to change to the OU Flag Guy show because that's just what has fit with me. We are officially, guys, 1 month and 3 days until the 22
Don't
season.
count. Don't count.
I am counting.
You're gonna drive yourself insane.
Oh, I have other hobbies, man. That other hobby.
Yeah, so do I. You people think football's close. It's gonna slow to a crawl here momentarily. Just you watch.
Bro, I have too much work to worry about on that. Like, I got stuff. stuff.
No, you don't. No, you're gonna be. The way things are going lately, it's going to drive everyone nuts because it's. I love that we're starting tonight with Colton Vasek dropped on Twitter. I'm committing tomorrow afternoon. Gee, I wonder where he's going.
Does it have an O in it? Does it have a U in it? Possibly. I mean, that eliminates a whole lot.
I believe, and those O and U, that O and U are interlocked because they're committed. They're married. They're married.
Absolutely, and then it's not hypocritical.
Oh, don't get me fucking started.
We're gonna be optimistic tonight, but
Sean, do not get me started on that shit.
Well, we might, but regardless, again, everybody, thank y'all for joining. I'm your host, OU Flag Guy, aka Josh, and I'm joined once again, by my awesome friend and co-host and OU's newest bagman, Sean. Sean, how is it being OU's
I don't know. Sean, I'm not a bagman. I did not join that Norman NIL thing that people are going nuts over a few days ago. I'm not a part of that. I know a person who goes by the name of Archon is real, who's a part of it. I know that person. I know that person, and they have a really neat avatar from a 1980s anime about dogs fighting bears. But that's not me. That's another person. So,
how is he doing today? Check up on him.
Just a quiet weekend, I think, and just chilling, watching some Red Letter Media.
Exactly.
Just the usual.
Exactly. I want to also thank everyone who's already thrown comments and questions into the chat. We're going to go all over it tonight. So let's just get started. Sean, let's dive right in. Let's start right with recruiting. The Chosen recruiting event happened last night at the Palace, and apparently it was fantastic.
I keep forgetting that that's what the name of the thing is, even though it's been in my face for 3 straight days. But I'm still not. I still remember when it was Sooner Squad 17. God, that was 6 years ago.
Oh, jeez. Don't say that. Now you're making me feel old. Gosh.
6 years ago. Sooner Squad 17 was 6 years ago. God. But yeah, it
Woo.
So yeah, that event has blown. Let me be careful how I say this, because as of right now, we haven't gotten any commits from that. That'll probably change tomorrow, but which is a big one. But the buzz from that visit, because they had the 24 and the 24 guys earlier last week, and that went well, from what I understand. But this is kind of the one people were, at least for me personally, I was looking forward to seeing how it turned out, because the list of guys of who were going to be there, a bunch of recruits that were already committed. Jackson Arnold was there, and he's working on Ryan Yates and Peyton Bowen. His teammates.
Yeah.
To flip, because one's at LSU, committed to LSU, one's at Notre Dame, and the feeling for a while is that Jackson Arnold's going to win that battle. Now, I there's so much stuff about Peyton Bowen right now because he took a trip to College Station today. He brought his brother, his younger brother with him, he's a 24 guy who's also a 4-star corner. So it's not like he's trash. So I would be more than happy to have him on the roster.
Side note, I have to appreciate your trolling of Peyton and Eli are visiting campus.
Peyton and Eli are on campus.
The Mannings?
Yeah, Peyton and Eli are on campus. It's true.
I was very happy about that. Kudos to you.
So you have, of course, David Hicks is what everyone's going nuts about. And Colton Vasek, who's a Texas legacy, and just on and on, and the pictures that have come out from that event, and just if they come away with just 3 of these guys that we're hearing about, it's a success. It's a huge success. Now look, David Hicks is the sacred cow of this class. He's a top 10 player in the country. He's a game changer. The feeling is he committed. I don't think he actually did commit. But they really, really hit the visit out of the park with him. You're not going to hear anything from David Hicks till January. It's just
because he wants to announce.
He's going to do the Under Armour game. He's going to do the big announcement and everything and plus you want that for your program too at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
But I mean, on the other hand, though, it's like it'd be great if you committed now and you could round up more people. But I think quarterbacks have more power than defensive ends, defensive tackles. That's just me. But I think OU can and is likely to win that battle at this point. You're seeing a lot of guys put in future casts and crystal balls, and it's like, this is happening as of right now. Now, we got a long ways to go. It's July 31st. We got to get to like second week of December. So it ain't over yet. This is going to be like, if you think A&M is going to walk away quietly into the night with 6 months left or so, you got another thing coming. So, but Jordan Renaud's another guy that everyone's excited about. There's like people are going back and forth on whether he's one of the 5 locks or whatever. He's like a big time defensive lineman. We're kind of battling Bama for him, but from what I understand, we're battling him. Bama is so insanely ridiculous in depth. It's one of those like, which guy do we like best with the D line we're recruiting? And it's like Jordan Renaud is so good that, it's one of those things, well, we don't have room for you type of thing. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but it's like, I'm not going to turn down Jordan Renaud. Okay. If Jordan Renaud could come to OU, we need to stack defensive linemen too at the end of the day.
Right.
So if you can get him, great. It's up and down about him, but the guys that people feel good about are like Makari Vickers, the top 100 player out of Tallahassee at corner or safety, depending whichever you need him to play, corner or safety. Florida State can't get a top 100 player out of their own backyard right now. That's the world they live in. So
the mighty have fallen really when you think about it. Like they can't get it out of their backyard.
Yeah, so you got Vickers, big time. And of course you got Jacoby Johnson, who's hey, what a shock, an in-state kid in Oklahoma. I think that one is inevitable. It's just late. Like everyone thought it was going to be really soon, but apparently he wants to do a late August, early September commitment. That's the last I heard. I can always change, but because just right before we went on, like Colt Vasic's like, I'm going to commit tomorrow. It's like, so you get August to a good start. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Just everything just like went super well. It's just been positive buzz. I really can't. I wasn't there. I'm not going to go into details about what things were said, but the entire recruiting world is taking notice. Yeah. And if the Steve Wiltfongs of the world start dropping crystal balls, you should start feeling really good. But when you knew Colton Vasek was pretty much ours, when Jeff Ketchum put in a future cast for him, the Texas Rivals guy, the human thumb himself had to say he's going to Oklahoma. So it's bad when he has to admit it. So expect some really good news tomorrow afternoon if you're OU.
In theory, because I know you've mentioned like using the calculator and stuff just for fun. Where would this place us? Like, would this be a top 5 class easily, maybe even 4?
No. Here's the thing: if OU gets, let's say they miss out on one guy, pick a guy, anyone.
David Hicks. Let's go worst case scenario.
All right, if they lose out David Hicks, it would without question be a top 5 class.
Crazy. That's insane.
Like OU's on pace to potentially have like a 300-point 24/7 composite rating with this class with about 28, 29 guys. God. That's realistic now. Like that's that. Listen, I knew Brent when he brought in Todd Bates and you got in Lebby. I knew recruiting was going to be okay. I knew we would potentially get to something like this at some point. I didn't expect it this year. Like initially it's like last year he salvaged a top 10 class. Good. Great. Lebby was able to get Jackson Arnold. Oh, awesome. We're off. We lost Malachi Nelson. We got okay, we got a quarterback for this class. Great. We can build around that. And I was like, okay, we could be a top 10 class again. You could put back-to-back top 10 classes, and then you really go, because 24 is going to be a really, really big year for OU, in my opinion, with guys like David Stone and whatnot. Like, they can really, if this season is a very solid year football-wise on the field, 24 could be really good. But that's the year I was expecting to potentially what this is potentially becoming now for 23. 23 has gone from top 10 to fringe top 5. Oh, we definitely top 5 to top. Some people are going nuts at saying number 1. You got to be careful with number 1, because everyone who says that are very tunnel vision about what OU is getting and not what everyone else is getting. So you got to be careful with that number 1 thing. But if they get all these guys that they want, if Saturday night translates to like commits from everybody, they'll flirt with number 1. They'll be close. So it's just, and here's the thing, you don't need to be number 1. It's cute, it's fun, it's a nice thing to put like number 1 class on your graphics on Twitter and whatnot. All I care about as an OU fan, I want to be in that top 5 every year. That's all I care about. For that, you can, and listen, classes are going to be judged 3 or 4 years after the fact anyway. So just like if you're consistently in that top 5 year in and year out, your football program is doing really good.
Absolutely.
So if you want to like Notre Dame was number 1, then Ohio State, we were like number 6 yesterday. Clemson got to commit today. We're number 7. I don't care. Like it's not about like where you are now. Where are we going to be in December, and potentially if we're waiting on Hicks to. Now, it's like, I think what Hicks is going to do, more than likely, he will sign with whoever he signs, and a lot of guys will keep it, the school will keep it under the radar. Once he announces at the Under Armour game, that's when the tweet will come out from OU or whoever, welcome to Chosen 23, the video and all that. You'll see all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just really, really exciting right now to see that. By December, I can easily say, if we get all these guys, we upgraded at recruiting across the board and at head coach.
Yeah,
it's not to say that out loud. And you think, and it's not just me being a homer. I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the players we're potentially getting.
Well, and that was one of my questions to you, Sean, was what is, and I hate using his name, but what is Brent doing differently than Riley outside of rings? Like,
what it is? Because Riley is really good. Like, listen, Riley proved it on the field that he could take quarterbacks and make them first round picks. That's like when we lost him, we lost the ability to basically go out and get any quarterback we wanted. That was a huge loss. It just was. But when you take a step back and look back at Riley's recruiting, all the top tier guys were on offense, which is fine to an extent. But Riley would always go. He would shoot for the moon, and that's great if you can get those guys. But at the end of the day, we're missing out on a lot of guys. Like, people talk about like the COVID year. Caleb's dad. We're gonna bring all these guys in. We're gonna bring in Tristan Lee and Emeka Buka and Kamar Wheaton. We're gonna get all these guys. We didn't get any of them.
As much as they
great
tried.
The recruiter Caleb was. He got some. He got 1 or 2. It didn't work out at the end of the day. We were not as big as we thought we were. Caleb's awesome. I'm not going to deny it, despite that I'm not going to say he sucks. He was really good.
Yeah.
But I'm talking from top to bottom, the entire staff. Like, find me a weak link on this recruiting staff. Mikhail Chavis is killing it. Todd Bates is killing it. Brandon Hall's killing it.
Even what's his name is killing it too.
I mean, DeMarco is killing it. Bill Beatonbow. I was like, Bill Beatonbow. I was like, dude, got Kane Green. Kane Green's likely going to be a 5-star by the time this is all said and done. Would I like a few more high caliber offensive linemen in this class? Sure, but we got some really good ones last year. People forget that.
Yeah. So, I mean, even Roof is killing it. Like, you're right. There is no weak link.
Roof is on fire, man. Roof is on fire, man.
It is.
And I rolled my eyes at the Ted Roof fire. Like a lot of people, like, Ted Roof? Are you effing kidding me?
I did too. I thought it was very
like, how is Ted Roof doing here? Like, what the Ted Roof? But then it made more sense when Todd Bates joined and became co-defensive coordinator. It's like, I see what the plan is.
Yeah.
See, Ted's going to be here for a little while, for however long. And then if he wants to retire or go off and do something else, you slide up, Todd Bates into full defensive coordinator and D-line and stuff like that. It makes perfect sense.
Absolutely. He's basically getting him ready at this point. How many years that's going to take? Yeah,
you can keep Todd on for a long time, pay him more money as when you make him full DC down the road, and then you keep going.
Right. Well, it's just
and Mikel Chavis is an up and rising star too. The dude that dude's brand new. He was like he has not been like a long term like assistant. He's been an analyst, but he is killing it too. Like he's winning he's winning battles. Like again, like Brent and his staff overall just better recruiters. And like we had guys like Jamar Kane who were awesome recruiters, but we also had weak links too.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like it's good. I can't say it now because we got to get this class first. But if we get a top 3 class at the end of the year, it's like Brent Venables better recruiter than Lincoln Riley. Sorry, it's just true.
Yeah,
it will be true.
Absolutely. Well, and it's what you said before too, where it was like July. I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit too. July is the new recruitment month at this point.
But it's an insane July. We've had since June 30th. We've had 10 commitments, and we're about to get 11 on August 1st.
How insane is that?
Yeah.
I cannot, and I mentioned this before in other live streams, I cannot remember when a Riley barbecue happened and we had recruits like this. It seemed like they enjoyed the fun, but they never
the sports cars on the field and stuff like that. Which works.
Like it's cool.
Which works to an extent, but you get the thing that pisses me off is that people are just now paying attention to Oklahoma. And it really pisses me off because everyone saw the clip going around about Brent talking about don't commit to Oklahoma. You remember when that clip was from months ago.
Yeah.
And people are just now fucking discovering it.
Yeah.
Oh, he must have said, did he say this week? No, you idiots. He said it back in spring. You got Ari Wasserman, who didn't even Ari Wasserman today saying is like, I didn't know this clip existed till now. It's because you fuckers weren't paying attention.
Exactly.
Because most of the national media just wrote us off because, how can Oklahoma without Lincoln Riley? It's like, it's because, you know why? Because we're not Michigan. We're not Ohio State. We're not USC. We're not in a big market that will get clicks. But you know what does get clicks? When you have like the trolls at Barstool Sports who are just like who don't know what the fuck they're just being trolls. They're all a bunch of morons who are lucky to have jobs, most of them anyways. There, and there's only 2 people on Barstool worth listening to. Yeah, and like they're the ones who carry that damn thing. If they left tomorrow, that whole place would collapse within itself.
Is it wrong that half, like 3/4 of the stuff I see from Barstools are the ones where everyone goes, bro? There's times to tweet. This is not the time. And most of them are from Barstools.
No, they're all idiots. They're all living off the coattails of like Big Cat and PFT. That's it.
Yeah.
Without them, that thing they're nothing. But the point is that like Unnecessary Roughness is full of morons, and they're trolls, and that they're all about clickbait.
Mm-hmm.
And so Brandon Walker is a bitch, and he's a bigger bitch than the actual woman that's on his podcast with him. So it's just, and so they're doing this thing, and then Ari Wasserman jumps in and does his article, and then he can't understand why people are mad at him when he can't fathom that how can Brent Venables with his recruiting philosophy win big recruiting battles? Guess what, motherfucker? He's winning them right now.
Yeah,
he's winning.
That's why they're noticing. If you'd notice too, it's because Riley is not doing well.
I'm not even talking about Riley. It's that Brent went to Clemson, and like for 10 years, they've had this policy of like, if you're going to commit, you got to shut down your recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. They've made the playoff 6 years in a row, won the ACC 6 years in a row, won 2 national titles, probably should have won a 3rd. I mean, are you kidding me with this? I don't know if it's going to work at Oklahoma. What? It's just like Ari Wasserman is like not an evil person, but he is so he can't see the forest through the trees because he is so deep into his mindset about how recruiting works. That's all he does. Is like he looks at stars matter and everything, and they do matter, but it's like how could like he even admits, like, I didn't bother to look up what other coaches have this policy or whatnot.
He's doing it for clickbait, just like.
And the other thing is like, well, how could Brent Venables? How dare Brent Venables have a policy where if you commit, you can't take visits, but Peyton Bowen and Ryan Yates can come down while they're committed elsewhere? Yeah, you know why? Because they're not his fucking commits.
Right,
they're not committed to him.
Elsewhere.
Because this is Brent's mindset. If you're willing to take a visit elsewhere, you're not really committed.
Right.
That's how it works, you stupid sons of bitches. And I'm fired up and I'm pissed off. I know your dad and family is probably watching. It's like, Sean's going on a rant cursing. But it irritates me.
My dad actually gets a crack out of it.
It irritates me. Like they're trying to go after his integrity. Oh, Brent. It's like bro. Like, listen. And Iron Boston tries to bring up, well, Clemson did this with Corey Foreman, and they tried to do this, and that, and he ended up going to USC instead. They lost it. It's like, bro, if Brent gets us to a point where our program is good enough, where if we missed out on a guy like Corey Foreman and it doesn't hurt our defense in the long run, sign me the fuck up.
Exactly, because that's showing like he's Brent. You know, you said it, and I'm not trying to take it from your video, but you were right that Brent is out there recruiting like Barry Switzer was.
No. Like if he gets this class, it's like some mid-70s Barry Switzer level shit. I'm like, for real. It's like, bro.
He's walking in and he's probably bringing dinner with him. Like, all right, guys, let's just talk. Let's have fun.
I said today is like, someone check Brent's refrigerator, see if he's got a 6-pack of Pearl. For real.
Yeah. Brent is just home running, and it's in my opinion, it's just crazy how much 6-7 months difference it was from 7 months ago. And I know we got over it.
I didn't expect this. The earliest I expected
I didn't either.
Was 24. This is the absolute earliest I expected anything potentially like this is 24. Now, look, at the end of the day, we still got to get verbals. We still got to get guys to sign.
And we have to win on the field. Like, that's the end of the day.
I don't think that's going to be a problem either, dude, because I'm not telling you we're going to go 15-0, but it's just this team's going to win the Big 12. And that's
where everyone was going. I was hearing it even on the local.
And a lot of people, now that we're getting to August, a lot of people are forced to make their picks, and there's a lot of people picking OU to win the Big 12 now.
Unless they're spiteful and they're picking Baylor.
No.
I even saw local radio said, I'm picking Baylor 1, Oklahoma State 2, and OU 3 because OU hasn't proven anything under Brent Venables. I went, what was the first 10 years?
Well, no, he wasn't the head coach, but you know, they didn't prove anything under our last coach first year either, and they made the playoffs. So, but granted, they had a lot of people coming back and everything. So it was just here. Bob's like, here are the keys. Don't crash it. And of course, he crashed it in Pasadena, of course. But no, it's just we're at the point right now where momentum is on OU's side, and we're going to get more. We're going to get a big push tomorrow, and I'm just for Texas, because the thing with Texas fans, and of course, like the Jeff Ketchums and the Anwar Richardsons and the Ian Boyds of the world, who are just like wastes of space on the internet. The goalposts keep getting moved back, and like all the Texas fans who are trolls just like lap it all up. You tell them, Jeff. You tell them, Ian. You get them. Like a month ago, we sucked. We couldn't get anybody. Like we lost Cole Adams, guys. Remember when we lost Cole Adams? Oh my God, we lost Cole Adams. Instant recruiting. You can't even win big recruits in state. It's like, oh, you're not even going to get a top 10 class. You're failing. And then it's like, well, then we got a few more commits. Please, like you
remember we were
those guys didn't have Texas offers. And then it was like, and then it was like, well, okay, you had a couple of national guys lined up apparently. So, and now it's like, now we're getting Colton Vasek out of your backyard, a guy you wanted. So what's the excuse now? And David Hicks is like crystal ball and future cast to us. What's your excuse now? What's the excuse now? I want to hear the new excuse. I want to hear why Oklahoma is where they're at. It's like, oh, well, you're not going to... I want to hear the new excuses. I'm like, I need my content. I need my Texas content telling me why Oklahoma's going to fail. I need it.
Because they're scared. They're scared.
Crave it. You're damn right they're scared, because you know why? Because If
walking into damn Texas,
because if our third different head coach in 3 years walks in year one and beats Texas and crushes them in every whether it's on the field or in recruiting, they got nothing. They know they got nothing. Every Texas fan deep down knows that offensive line is trash for this year. And that's why they're smoking the hopium about all their offensive line freshmen that they brought in, who most of them just now got in a month ago. And they're hoping that DJ Campbell and Banks can start right away and be difference makers. And they kind of have to be, because there's their entire returning O-line from last year. There's not one NFL draft pick on that line. Not one. Zero.
No, there's not. There's not.
So,
but then you have the audacity of some of them going, I think people are saying we're under the radar, and Texas is going to go 11-0 or 12-0 this year, and they're going to beat Alabama.
No one's saying that. They're trying to be coy about it and say, listen, we're going to lose to Bama, but in the fourth quarter, it'll be shut the fuck up. You ain't come close to Bama. I don't care if you got Bijan and Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
I don't care. Quinn Ewers, Will Anderson's going to eat his lunch. Will Anderson's going to destroy you. And here's the truth. Here's the truth of the matter. If we played Bama, they would eat our lunch too. Yeah. Will Anderson would destroy us. And we're better than Texas. Yeah. So I don't want to hear for a second about this whole, because I have to hear this that Austin Heat in September, because Alabama's never played in the Heat before. God. Bunch of fucking fanboys at Ian Boyd trying to spoon feed this bullshit to his fucking fan base.
All it's doing is pissing out Alabama off. I'm gonna be the first one in line that's gonna laugh when they rank 70 on them.
You got Nick Saban, who's pissed off that he probably should have won a national title last year if his two best receivers don't get hurt, because he beat the team he lost to, he already beat for the SEC.
Yeah,
and it's like I got to beat them again. And it's he was still driving down to potentially, hopefully tie the game. His Heisman QB throws a pick, and that's all she wrote. But Bama fans deep down their heart believe they should have won that natty if their two best receivers.
No different than us with Florida in 2008 with DeMarco. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Or 2003 with Jason White with both his knees.
Well, Jason White had one good knee.
He had one good knee, but we needed.
If he had one healthy knee that have a torn ACL, just one. But either way, if
it's what it could have straight of.
I don't want to write. I don't. Every time I recollect on those games, it hurts. It's painful. But yeah, it's just everything is going great for OU right now, and when people are forced to pay attention, because the Athletic doesn't have a since Kersey kind of quit the business and went to law school, they don't have a beat guy right now. So they don't have a beat guy for Oklahoma. So no one's paying attention there. And so, you got to watch ESPN stuff where it's on that morbid get up with Mike Greenberg and all those morons. Which first time head coach is going to have the most success? Is it Brian Kelly? Is it Marcus Freeman? Or is it Lincoln Riley? And it's just a slap in the face by admission.
Yeah.
Dan Lanning too at Oregon, by the way. I'll throw in Dan Lanning, but
it's at the end of the day, they don't want OU to succeed because
it's not that. No, it's just that. Why would you? No, it's because they don't placate to small states like Oklahoma. We're going to placate to the SEC, we're going to placate to Notre Dame, and we're going to placate to Los Angeles. That's what they do. That's why they pay attention Ohio State, Michigan week. Whoever has the game, they're going to talk about that ad nauseum because the Michigan fan base is the biggest of physical size, numbers. It's Michigan and Ohio State, biggest fan base. So, but yeah, watching Ari Wasserman just whine like a little bitch today with Andy Staples, just saying, yes, Ari, of course this is how this is going to work because it's worked at Clemson for I like Andy Staples for what it's worth because he'll at least say, yes, Ari, it's worked at Clemson, and yes, it can work in Oklahoma because it has the cachet to do those things. And
we have the money.
Oh, don't get me started. We don't have the fucking money.
Oh, don't get me started on. But guys, I'm serious. OU is the same as Penn State. Are you kidding me? I'm glad Blinken came out with the "Are you kidding?" stats.
Well, I mean, we didn't protect a child rapist on campus for 40 years, but other than that, we're the same.
Fair. That's fair,
Are you kidding? Penn State was the bitch everyone beat in the 70s.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, Penn State was like, no, Penn State was the bitch everyone beat. That was the team you beat. Like, people rip on Oklahoma for being like, that's kind of what Oklahoma kind of became recently over like with Bob and Riley and everything. But it's like, no, Joe Paterno was like the team you slapped around to win a natty.
Yeah.
Like Barry Switzer did it. Like Notre Dame did it. Georgia did it. Everyone beat up on Penn State back in the day.
Yeah.
There's a reason they got like 2 national titles. They got 2. So,
hot takes are coming out, man, during the summer. And it's just, I mentioned it before with like some of these terrible.
I tried to warn people. I tried to warn people. It was like, it's going to happen. It's happening.
Well, it's no different. I think you mentioned him before with Travis Renaud too, as well. I was like, you should just be really worried about going into the SEC and
why?
Give me
why should we be worried? I'll tell you what, man. I'll tell you right. If this class is top 5 and next year's top 5, we're kicking the fucking door down at the SEC.
It'll be just like your video, walking in.
I swear to God, if we walk in year 1 and win the SEC, like you will not. I will, like, natty or not.
You will be the most obnoxious.
If in 2020, whether it's 24, dude, if it's 25 for real, and like we have like, and we rack up like 3 straight top 5 classes and just walk in there like grizzled and ready to go. Oh God, I can't wait. I can't wait. It will be so much fun to watch. Like all the pissant teams that claimed they're good just because of the letters on their jersey, we'll just like beat them down, and then like we'll have battles with the real teams eventually. But God, like nothing would make me happier than to walk in and win that league year 1. It's a pipe dream. It's pie in the sky a little bit, to be honest. But oh Lord, just because like A&M walked in year 1, came close. Missouri like got to back like championship games. Don't sit here and tell me we can't do it.
I know why we can't do it, Sean, because according to Texas, we're failing because we didn't get Peyton Kirkland. I mean, that's why we can't do it.
People try to like say, oh, like I don't know, you fan in the Twitter is like who said, why are you acting like this? You wanted him too, like 3 weeks ago, and then I realized what the deal was, and I'm like, nah, we good. It's like when you get new information on things, I can change. Exactly. You're allowed to change your mind. It's like you congratulate. It's like no, he went to Texas without even taking a visit. It was hilarious
because we found out about him.
Dude's mom tried to shop him around, try to get some major cash, and they finally found a sucker in Texas. They found a sucker. And even Catch came out and said, yeah, he ain't gonna play till maybe 25 at the earliest. He's just a body. Ooh. He's a 4-star. He's just a body right now. He's overrated. Like he thought. See, he thought he was better. He thought he was better than he really was, and then it was comical. It was really comical. But yeah, go ahead and try to like tell us that we were desperate for this dude. We weren't.
Don't tell Texas fans that, Sean. They're going to get upset and say, "Well, what about Arch Manning?" Like,
no, I can't wait. My preview image for tomorrow's commitment video for Vasek is going to be him and Arch doing the horns up together. It's going to be beautiful. That's my thumbnail tomorrow. I cannot wait.
See, those are the videos I just absolutely enjoy watching you make because
Texas Legacy commits to Oklahoma 4-star. Texas Legacy commits to OU. That's going to be my video title.
I'm surprised you didn't make your trolling one for Peyton as well. Dun, da, 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 da. I was really looking forward to that one.
For what?
Just a trolling video with Peyton. Just no, we let him go. Just let it go, guys. Nothing is here. And
no. I mean, that was more fun on Twitter. But I knew OU was out on him like weeks before. Yeah. It was obvious, and it became more funny when it was like. I got like a Miami buddy I talked to, and like, so I got someone else to back me up. It's like, yeah, he was going to go to Miami. And then it's like, he wanted all this money. And then like Cristobal is like, dude, like you ain't that good. You're like listen, there are 4 stars and then there's like 4 stars.
4 stars. Yeah.
Like there's a pretty big like, range of the 4-star. There's like high level, like fringe 5-star, 4 stars. There's the mid level, and then there's the guys who just barely made the cut. Like there's a range. Like you're not all 4 stars equal. It's good to have them. Don't get me wrong. But there's a range for it. And he was down here for some people. It's like, dude, you are not who you think you are.
Well, it's what you said. It's the running joke you've always had, but it's true. It's like you can only have so many 3-star guys with 5-star hearts. It's kind of the same realm with this guy, where it's like there's 4 stars, then there's 4 stars. I'm not going
to pretend that I didn't make jokes about just driving down to Dr. Phillips, which is right behind Universal Studios Orlando, and drop a bag. I made those jokes in the Discord server all the time. I was like, yeah, don't worry, guys. I'll drive down and drop a bag. I'll promise him he can bring Universal with him to Norman. Like, I made those jokes like months ago, just leading up to it. Then once you learn, like, you know what the funniest thing about his commitment, though? Not only did he commit to Texas out of nowhere, which is the funniest thing ever. He didn't even make the announcement. His mom did. His mom made the announcement. That's how you know who's in charge, who's running this thing. So I mean, and then people were bitching like because like the word got out, like Chad Simmons or whatever posted that he committed before. I was watching the live stream of the commitment, and on Twitter there was official commitment graphics up before it was even said, and people were getting mad. Like I so badly wanted to tweet out, "Man, you ruined his mom's big moment."
You did.
They didn't have a hat, a shirt, or anything. They just said it because like they were prepared. Well, they were trying to find someone to take him like last second. You could have delayed your announcement. No one's gonna hold you. Like there's no hurry, but they were such in a hurry to find someone to pay them a good NIL deal before they got found out. Because that's what happened basically.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's a good little segue, by the way, mentioning like I saw a thing where they said the NCAA is going to look like they're getting ready to do their announcement for like unlimited transfers this week.
No, that's not happening.
Do you not think that's going to happen?
No, they've come out. They pretty much people are reporting that's not happening.
Really?
Yeah, well, because someone in a meeting raised their hand and said, "I don't think this is a good idea," and people, when you say it out loud like that, yeah, it sounds like a terrible idea. That's not happening.
Gotcha. Okay, because they're getting ready to do it.
Coaches would lose their goddamn mind if that happened.
Right, because you would never have the contract.
Insane.
You would have to put every player on contract at that point and say you are stuck here.
Yeah. So it's not going to happen, and it's like one-time transfer, immediately eligible, totally fine with it. Because here's the thing: college football's temporary.
Right.
It's temporary. So just like having guys who could just go willy-nilly whenever, it would be chaos at some places. It would be really funny depending on where it is, but nobody wants it to, like, that could be me. Like nobody wants that to happen to them. So
I mean, that happened to us. It happened to Notre Dame. It can happen to anybody. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. Another segue though, with all the news and stuff mentioning as well. This happened a while back, but SEC Media Days happened, Sean. So did the Pac-12. And did you see the Pac-12's spicy comments about the Big 12?
I mean, kind of, but I really don't care. I just don't. There's nothing to talk about. I think if you're an OU fan right now, you don't give a shit about. Well, no, you don't give a shit about comps for alignment because you know where OU's going. It's not going to affect OU. So it's like the only thing you care about is when are we leaving? Like that's the news an OU fan cares about. Are we leaving sooner? That's what they care about. Like at this point, I'm kind of like, for me personally, it's like I don't care what happens with the Pac-12 or the Big 12 anymore. I just want to leave. I just want to get out of here.
Well, and that's kind of the big thing.
I don't care if you're gonna remodel the kitchen. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna be living here. Okay. Like, why are you asking me about the kitchen? I don't care.
Well, it's no different though than
granite countertops. Yeah, great. Go for the granite countertops. It's awesome. Go for it. I don't care. I'm going. I'm leaving.
But I mean, to be fair, the only thing that came out of SEC Media Days was
it was the most boring SEC Media Days ever.
Yeah, because the commissioner was just like, I don't care how many playoff spots there are. Let OU and Texas deal with the Big 12. That's it. Oh, okay. I was waiting for Nick Saban and Jimbo to like yell at each other through separate press conferences, but
no, boring. It was like the word, like it was hard to top last year, obviously, but man, it was just a boring media days.
You would think that they would have something exciting from it, but
Well,
I guess UCLA and USC took their stuff.
I told Elo when I do my stuff with him, it's like, I mean, if nothing happens after media days, like we're not going in 23. It's not happening.
No.
Like 24 seems realistic at this point, but we still have to hear it it still needs to be said out loud by someone who matters. So I hate the idea that we'd have to wait till 25. It's just like so long out. But
it's because OU doesn't have money. No, that's not it. They ain't making NIL deals if they don't have the money, guys.
Just bet on Kansas to beat you in a Big 12 game. You'll make some cash.
Yeah. What was the one I saw? It was something. Oh, it was one of OU games coming up where it was like, oh yeah, put your money on that. Like, pay me now. Your money for it because of how stupid it was. Yeah, people already.
I mean, I don't know.
I forgot what game it was. I will mention. I did see in the chat, Sean. They wanted your opinion. What's your thoughts on Nebraska? How do you think OU is going to do against Nebraska?
They're going to crush them.
That's my thought too. Because Scott Frost's seat is hot.
What? Oh, they have Casey Thompson, so their that defense they were so proud of is pretty much gone.
But they're the best 3-9 team, Sean. They only lost by 20-something points.
Yeah, this a lot of people are picking Nebraska to beat OU.
Yeah, they are.
Like a lot, they're circling. That's going to be you're going to be an 8-9 win team at most, and that's one of your losses. Fuck you. They're getting their asses kicked. I'm just waiting because here's what's going to happen if Brent goes up there and just beats him solidly 42-21, something stupid like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's going to happen? Oh, well, Nebraska's no good. That's what you're going to hear. And that's fine. Because, I don't think Nebraska's that good this year. So I expect to beat them 42-21 or something like that. So we'll get to Texas, and it's like, Texas won 5, and they're not that good. So the game everyone's going to circle, the one that's going to matter, is our home game against Baylor in November. That's the game. That's the game. And if I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't think we win that game right now. I could change my mind in a month or two.
Really?
But right now, even though we're at home and the crowd's going to be on our side, I don't see us winning that game. Having said that, if we can get to Arlington and we had to play them in a rematch, I think we could beat them in a rematch. I just don't. I just don't like.
I'm intrigued now. Why?
Because
right now?
Dave Aranda owns the line of scrimmage. He's so good he's so good at coaching up the trenches, man. You go back to the COVID year, even though we won, we had to win by just tossing the football over their heads and just beating them athletically with our receivers. Dave Aranda owns us on the line of scrimmage right now, and until that changes, I can't pick Baylor. I can't pick OU to beat Baylor right now. Now, if we get 2 months down the road and OU's clicking on all cylinders, I might change my mind. But
so you need actual legit evidence now with the actual.
And it's not about not having confidence in Brent. It's just that as much as a hype man I've been lately, I'm I could easily talk myself into winning every game this year. There's rarely do I walk into a game thinking, oh, you can't win. I'm not saying, oh, you can't beat Baylor in November. But what I'm saying is if you ask me to pick a game that I think OU will potentially lose, that's going to be at the top of my list.
See, I'd be the one that I kept circling Kansas State. That's the one.
Well, that's another one I have too, because you're going to come back from. It's literally you're coming right back home after Nebraska on the road, and you don't know. And it's early. You don't know if you're going to have an injury situation at certain positions. So, and K-State has played us tough, so that's another one too. So
they've beaten us, I think, 3 out of the past 4 times, and 2 of them at home. That's the team I'm scared on.
Yeah, so Chris Kleiman is a hell of a football coach, and it's going to be, and plus there's going to be the storylines, Brent coming back to OU and his connection to K-State and everything. So, but yeah, those are 2 games I look at and go, yeah, those are losable football games just because. And obviously K-State, they got Nebraska's old QB, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah,
to see how that works out. And of course, they still have that little terror running around, who's going to be tough to stop. So. It's just, I think if you're Brent, what helps you out is like both of those games are at home. Look, if you win both of those games, he's overachieving, in my opinion. If you beat K-State, you beat Baylor, you beat Texas.
Well, and Sean, to give you credit,
if you win those games, it's hard for me to like not go. This team could go 11-1.
Yeah, and you know,
but I can't go there yet. I can't do it. It's
well,
because,
which is fair because you know initially I was like, why are you thinking we would lose to Baylor? Well, looking at the schedule, Sean, I mean, I was completely forgot that Iowa State's before, and I don't expect Iowa State to be at all good this year. They're going to be
still a road game. It was
correct.
It was supposed to be a Thursday game. It got moved, which I just assumed Joe like raised his hand and said, "I'm going to use what little veto power I have and say we're not playing on freaking Thursday. Move that game, please."
Do you think that was Brent, or do you think that was Iowa State?
It could have been both. They probably once said, "We don't want to do this on Thursday."
Yeah,
please don't. But yeah, it's just, I mean, the upcoming season, it's like, you know, you want to hear more. Like, obviously, camp starts this week, so, which is like, I think media. I think media day is Tuesday. I want to say, like, the 2nd, and then camp starts on the 4th, or maybe it's or something like that.
Camp starts the 4th, yeah.
So camp starts the 4th, and I think media day, like, there's no more Meet the Sooners Day. They have quashed that forever, apparently. So,
that's disappointing. I understand why, but
I mean, COVID happened and they haven't brought it back since. So I just assume, and you believe you're still going to have COVID protocols to an extent.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, even though like there's a handful of people who don't get vaccinated for whatever reason, and it's like we're still living in that world. So it's going to piss people off, but it's like someone's going to be out because of COVID this year, and people are like, "What?" Because there's two different worlds we live in. One where we act like COVID is gone, and the other world where it's like, no, it's actually still here.
It's no different than the marijuana stuff. Just because if they have it medically, it's still Schedule 1 at the Fed level. They have to follow it. It's not their choice, even though it's stupid.
We still live in a world where pot is not quite 100% legal yet.
Don't forget too. You mentioned COVID. There's also the monkeypox stuff as well. They're definitely going to take the precautions for that. Like, it is what it is for it. Like, I understand the Meet the Sooner one with it. It's disappointing, but it is what it is for it.
It's disappointing because your damn flag is going to not get any more new signatures. That's what you're mad about.
Yeah. You know me so well.
That's what you're
You know me very well, and I'm going to say yes. That is one of the reasons. But
you're gonna get a pair of shoes for your knees, so you look like you're a lot shorter. That way, you pretend that you're 12.
Yeah, my hairline can't show that I'm 12. Though. It's like you look 45.
Mr. Gabriel, will you sign my flag, please? It's very important to me.
I just need to borrow someone's kid.
Mr. Gabriel,
like, guys, I'll get you an autograph. Just let me get stuff on my flag, please.
Mr. Gabriel, you my favorite Power Ranger. Mr. Gabriel,
can do morph call for me, please? Please.
My favorite Power Ranger, Mr. Gabriel.
Exactly. See,
I'm the only one who figured out. I mean, you're the only one who understands that joke because like I look at Dylan Gabriel, you look like a freaking Power Ranger every time I look.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. I get that joke, and I was like,
he looks like he's gonna be like the Black or Blue Ranger or something like
that. Yes. When you said that, I was like, he looks like a Blue Ranger. And I'm just like, all right, guys, huddle up. We're gonna do this play. 1, 2, 3, it's morphin' time. There we go. Yep. You were not wrong because I thought that. I'm like, he looks a little young.
He's got that baby face, man. He looks like he belongs on Disney XD and just doing his thing, man.
Hey, not Disney XD. Disney Saturday after or weekday after.
You know what I mean.
I do.
You know what I mean. So
I do. But yeah, you're right. I was probably the only one you made that joke to that probably got it and cracked up. I laughed.
As long as the right people get it. Oh, there it is. People posted the pictures online of the Arch and Vassic. So good.
About the what?
Well, he lives in Austin, so he was hanging out with like Arch Manning, so he was just he was just hanging out and doing the whole horse. That is going to be my preview image. I cannot wait. So much fun.
It writes itself. Sometimes you don't have to come up with the jokes. It's real life. Sometimes real life is just as funny. Just as funny.
That'd be great.
What's your going completely off topic, Sean? Off topic. What's your thoughts on the Kyler Murray stuff?
I don't care.
Man, nothing. Not even on that one, Sean. I figured you'd have an opinion on that one.
Not really. I mean, just the organization embarrassed itself by having that in there in the first place. I don't blame Kyler.
I don't either, but I'm like,
what did you think was going to happen? What did you think was going to happen when you insult his intelligence like that? So,
yeah,
it's like, yeah, when that gets out, it makes you look bad and your quarterback look bad. He's getting paid. He don't care at this point. He's getting paid. So,
yeah, well, he pressured him to do it. That's why. I mean, otherwise he was going to go somewhere else, and he's getting that money. Getting that money, Sean.
Well, yeah, but no, I'm talking about the stupid clause. It's like you put that in there. It's like it's whatever. It didn't. I couldn't care less.
See, when I initially heard it, I thought it was just like 4 hours each day type of deal. So he was not bugged by anybody. He was just doing independent study for it. I don't necessarily believe he's just playing video games. I don't believe that, but that's just me. That's just me. What about?
I mean, I think playing Madden is studying. I mean, you got route trees on there you can practice with, and you know it helps your dexterity, man. So
it does. Speaking of Madden, Sean, Madden 2023 is coming out. Oh, you got another player on the 99 club.
Oh, Trent? Yeah, Trent.
Yeah.
Trent Williams is long overdue. Trent Williams is going to be a Hall of Famer. He's a gold.
Absolutely.
He's wearing a gold jacket one day. Now he's got to like finish his career and 5 years later type of thing, but yeah, he's getting a gold jacket. So
quiz time, Sean. Who else is in the 99 club? In Madden. That's an OU player.
So who's in the 99 club?
Yeah.
The only one who'd be in the 99, like Kyler is the only one I could think of potentially.
No, it's not. Not Kyler. Maybe a little too early for Kyler. Can you name it? I know you can. It's pretty obvious.
99?
Yeah, the 99 that they're rated 99 in the game.
I don't know.
Oh, you're killing me, Sean. It's Adrian Peterson.
He can't be 99. He's not a 99 now.
Not now, but at one point he was rated.
Oh, I thought you meant right now. What are you talking about? I was like,
no.
Currently, that's why I was like confused. Like, I thought you meant right now.
No. I mean, all together in the 99.
No. Oh, yeah. Back in the day, yeah, and his peak, like in 2009, 2010. Like, I thought you meant now. Like, who right now is 99? Like, Kyler is the only one who could potentially be that.
Yeah, I think they have Kyler at a 96. I want to say.
I know Creed's like an 80. Creed Humphrey's like an 86 or something like that. I thought you meant now. And I was like, there ain't no OU player worth a 99 right now in the league.
My bad. I'm talking just in the history of it. So,
yeah, like Adrian Peterson, another Hall of Famer. So,
well, and I thought, I mean, when they had that quiz up there, I thought it was DeMarco too. I was like, Adrian and DeMarco.
No, DeMarco's never.
In his prime, maybe.
I remember when I had Madden 25. Madden 25 had that really cool. They had like that mini game thing where you had to go through all these drills and try to pass them all. And I would always use DeMarco for all like the running back drills and stuff like that. So came close though. I can never get that achievement, but Madden 25 was fun. Back before they killed Madden and destroyed that game. So.
Just having the same game every year for the next 5
years. Well, no, it's not the same game. Like PS2 era Madden was the best Madden because if you're like a football junkie, like you could do your franchise mode was so deep, like you could do anything. Like you could literally set the prices for your concessions and build stadiums from scratch. Like it was a deep franchise mode, and now it's just like the game barely works half the time. So.
Well, all they're doing is reskinning it. They would benefit.
The problem is, what you're hoping is that when they do the college football game, when they bring that back, it's like you hope they don't just half-ass that too. Because I'll tell you what, if they half-ass it, hope you hold on to your PS3s and Xbox 360s because 14 is still out there, still being updated.
Yeah.
Did they just add still being modded?
Yeah. I think I saw a mod it may have been you, it may have been someone else who retweeted like they're doing high school football now. Like Oklahoma high school stuff was there. I'm like, what? Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know about that, but like it's all I know is that played a little today, had a little fun, did a little Red River beatdown, and just chilling today and waiting for some good news. And we got some good news for tomorrow. So
exactly. So what do you do from basically all of August? Like, because you say August is the worst month. What do you do from August 1st to kickoff? Outside of being on my Sunday show.
Well, I mean, there's like we're gonna get like the coaches poll either this week or next week, so that's kind of something you can look at for fun. That used to be the coaches poll used to mean something. It doesn't anymore.
Not anymore, no, because they don't pay attention.
For me personally, I'm probably gonna start prepping like preview stuff for the team.
Yeah,
like because I got people saying, "When are you gonna do your preview for the team?" Like, dude, it's May.
They want to know now, Sean. Like,
I'm not going to do a preview in May. It's pointless to do it in May. I'm not like an X's and O's guy, like deep, but I can like, here's who I think can be good. Here's who I think should start. Here's what I think needs to, whatever. So, I mean, quarterback is obvious. Your receivers are fairly obvious. Running back is probably obvious. It's, offensive line is the question. Everyone wants to know, like, who's going to be your left tackle to right tackle across the board. I mean, obviously, exactly. I think hopefully our starting center is healthy this year because he was a little banged up last year. But other than that, you get the Caven Tower kid, like the transfer from Cal coming in, see how he does. I want to know if it's Wanye that's going to start, if it's going to be Savion Bird, or you heard Tyler Guyton as a guy people are getting really, really high on. So
will we get more of that stuff in 4 days at this point once we start getting camp?
Yeah, like Brent's gonna go into a deep dive and people are gonna ask him all the questions of we'll see, we'll do this. Like all the coaches are gonna talk. Like I think it was either last year or the year before where I think last year or the year before is when Beedenbow made the mistake of comparing the O-line to his early O-lines.
Yeah.
He said, I'm not saying it, but he's saying, I'm not saying that's where we're at, but that's what they look like based on today. And people got really excited about the O-line. And then the O-line was not as dominant as everyone hoped it would be. So, yeah.
Is that on Beedenbow or is that on our old strength and conditioning coach?
A little both, but I think I don't know what one off season with Schmidt's going to do, but I think it's going to be a lot better than 2 years of Wiley.
Yeah, I mean, I saw the joke.
Nobody died. Nobody died in a Schmidt workout this year, so I'm a little concerned that he's gotten a little soft.
Yeah, but they wrote parents letters to their parents.
Nobody died.
That was a funny one.
Nobody died that we're aware of, anyways. Anyone important? So.
Exactly. I think one of the funniest ones I saw was one of the players tweeted.
Has anyone seen Trey Walker? Is he alive?
Maybe he could be in a boot, Sean. I mean, there's your story. There's your story.
Jeez.
But seriously, so for August after camps, like when do you start really prepping and getting ready for the new season at this point? Like, is it middle of August? Are you having notes ready to go?
January. I'm prepping for the new season January 10th or 11th every year.
Okay. I mean, much closer.
I don't know what prepping. It's just like, all right, what is there to talk about? A poll came out. Where here's like media availability after. That's what I'm actually looking forward to, is that we're gonna have we're gonna hopefully have more media availability and for practice and fall camp.
Yeah,
because the last regime thought everything was a secret and wanted to keep everything under wraps, and this one's a little bit more. I'm not saying it's pre-05 Bob Stoops, but it's better than what the past 5 or 6 years have been. It's likely going to be. My dad used to go to practice at the rugby fields and watch.
Yeah.
He just, like, this is like 02. He would just, like, he would take pictures.
Yeah. And then 03.
My father could drive down to Norman from OKC sit in the bleachers at the rugby fields and watch fucking practice.
Yeah.
That's insane to think about that nowadays. That was 20 years ago.
Yeah. And now it's like shut down. You are not seeing any type of practice. We're going to guard it as much
went
as
to
possible.
practice as just a dude and watched.
Yeah.
Can't do that anymore. You can't do that. And
You
so
can do that with the basketball team.
well, that's because they want people to show up, period.
Don't say that out loud.
I mean, they're doing their European trip right now, so hopefully that all goes well. But I'm willing to give Porter Moser another year. We'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, I mean,
see if he can bring that Loyola magic. Son, he didn't bring Sister Jean with him. That's the problem. We don't have the Sister Jean magic. Is Sister Jean even still alive? Who knows? Bob Barker's still alive. I know we got that going on. So
really.
Bob is 90. Bob is like 98 years old, still kicking. Kicking.
It's those positive things of promoting have your pet spayed or neutered.
Well, we lost Bill Russell and Nichelle Nichols today, two African American icons.
We also lost not African American icon, but we also lost what's her name? She was the gal who played Ursula, Pat Carroll. And Little Mermaid. She passed away too.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I thought I saw something else. Like,
yep, comes in threes. That's the thing. Tyler mentioned that Carrie thinks that they're going to be able to watch practice at least once a week. I mean, that's more open than what they would
probably have. So that's one more practice a week than they were able to watch last time under the previous regime. Got it.
Exactly. Well, and that's something too. Do you like that Brent Venables? Someone mentioned it in the chat as well that it's going to be on Tuesdays versus Mondays now. Do you personally like that? Do you not like that from your side of it?
What do you mean?
That they said his press conferences are now going to be on Tuesdays instead of Mondays.
Well, they were on Tuesdays last time.
No, they were on Mondays, weren't they?
With
Riley?
They moved to Tuesdays. They've been on Tuesdays for a while now.
Oh, see, I even thought they were Mondays. Well, there you go.
Pretty confident they were on Tuesdays because
also, Sean, Tyler coming in clutch for you. Sister Jean is 103 in 22 days. She's still alive. Anyway. Coming in clutch.
Most annoying.
People know the answers. You ask and they deliver.
Figured could catch a break and not have to hear about Sister Jean anymore.
No.
Well, that was the most annoying things about that tournament that year. Oh, what's Sister Jean doing? She's 100 years old. Who cares?
But you need to know what a 100-year-old woman's doing, Sean.
She has a catheter with her in her chair. She has a bedpan wherever she goes. Like, anything exciting happens, she shits herself.
Exactly.
Like if I ever make it to that age, like what do you do? I shit myself every day. Leave me alone. I'm waiting to die.
I told my dad that when he reaches like that classic age, I'm just gonna have OU games on for him. But if he makes me mad, like I'll put on the games that we lose. Because he'll be watching it and it'll be a brand new experience every single time. Works out perfectly. That's a running joke. So she's throwing down the horns. Here's another one for you. Looking at this season, what is your true expectations for this season?
Big 12 championship.
What would exceed your expectations then? A playoff appearance,
a playoff berth, I guess, just making it to the playoff. But no, it's like, I mean,
we got so hyped on recruiting, like, oh yeah, we have the season to.
Well, yeah, but those guys aren't going to play this year, and they have to commit first. They have to develop for a year or two, and then they're going to make impacts. That's how recruiting works.
Right.
So those guys aren't here yet. Like, so as much as I'm excited about them, no, it's like, like. Anyway, in order to get you have to be undefeated or 11-1 or 12-1 or whatever, and that's how you get in. That's how you get into the conversation. That's people say, oh, there's these prerequisites to get in. It's like, no, you have to be undefeated or one loss, and that's how you get in. Ding, ding, ding. If you can do that, then yeah, you'll be in the conversation. So I would love to be that guy and come out and just say, we're making the playoff. But it's like, no one's going to take it seriously. I don't have any real reasoning behind it. It's just, I'm mad that how last year ended and this and that. It'd be great. It'd be great if we could make a playoff run. But there's too many like the one thing that I'm concerned about is that as much as I love Brent on defense, I don't think it's going to be a one off season like fix. As much as we love him and love the recruiting and love the players that we got, like his system does take time to learn, especially at the linebacker position. So as much as we like the young guys, the Jaron Canics of the world, and we love the David Aguebus and, you know, the Denny Stutzmans, like those guys still have to learn his system. And they're still going to like, I mean, he said multiple times, they got a long ways to go. They're better than where they were before when he first got there after a spring and a summer, but they still got to do it. And they still got to do it in real games. So, and, you know, that's the one thing that Brent kind of struggled with later on because recruiting took a little bit of a dip before he left, and you were seeing the results of that. So, yeah, it's just, and it wasn't all Brent's fault. Part of it was Bob for not realizing that the sport was moving, you know, was progressing without him, and that slowly caught up to him over time. But,
well, he also hired his, I mean,
well, he hired his drinking buddy to be a tackles coach.
Yeah.
If I could love Bob historically, but someone should have
allowed to make one mistake.
Someone should have like grabbed him by the collar and thrown him against the wall. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, because wasn't it like Kittle didn't coach for like 20 years or something? It's like, oh yeah, I can do it.
He hired his drinking buddy. That's what he did. And like I mean, Bob's not the only guy to do that. You know, Mark D'Antoni at Michigan State hired his church group buddies or whatever to be his coaching staff or whatever. So Mac Brown was definitely guilty of that for being too loyal to assistants who weren't getting the job done. So it's not just a one person thing here. But no, it's with Brent, it's just I don't think the defense is going to be like this top 10 monster like Clemson has had year in and year out. Like year one at Clemson, it took a minute. Year two and year three, okay, we see a difference. Right. So I think 23 and 24 is when you're going to see this defense really cooking and really kicking ass. So with that all being said, I still think they can win a Big 12 title. They got to have a few things go their way. They got to win certain games. I think, and again, as I mentioned before, most of their really tough games are at home, with the exception of a few. You know, Texas is in Dallas, and the Nebraska game is, I think they'll win that one convincingly and shock a few people. But
do you think? You mentioned Nebraska and stuff too. This thought just came to me. Do you think Nebraska, they're going to be hyping Nebraska up because they should be undefeated going into that OU game? Because I think it's what?
I mean, like undefeated, you're playing. They're not. No one's. They're playing garbage teams. Like you beat Northwestern. I hope. Can you beat Northwestern? I mean, that's the week 0 game I'll be watching. Like last year.
I mean, they're playing. I mean, also like it's in Dublin, so like it's 11:30. Like, isn't that like 6 o'clock?
That's the Dublin game. Oh,
yeah, that's 11:30 a.m. kickoff. But I don't know if the 11:30 is.
Can we stop? Can we stop outsourcing college football games?
Oh, I hate it.
It's a great trip. Like Dublin gives a fuck about college football.
They care about Notre Dame.
Oh, stop! Like I know why the NFL is doing it because they're trying to get a team in London one of these years. But like,
I thought it was a league they wanted, like another league in London, not just like.
Well, not just in theory, yes, but it's like I wish they like I swear to God, if OU ever tries that shit, I'll be so pissed.
I don't think they would because that.
Do not outsource our game. Like you know why? Because we already have one game in Dallas every year.
Correct. And that's already like, with all due respect, like my dad's complained about it a lot, where it's like he's a regular donor in the sense of he pays for his season tickets, but he's a lottery. Like you mentioned it before, Sean, and my dad's mentioned, oh yeah, I remember when OU Texas tickets were like $40. Thanks, Dad. Thanks for, giving me like no hope at all.
I actually looked up tickets the other day, and like to get a really good seat, you're dropping $600, $700 a pop for a good seat. Like right now on like all the third party sites, it's like you want good like midfield sideline level seats. You're dropping $500, $600, $700 a pop. So
yeah, because it's Brent Venables. Everybody wants to go see Brent Venables.
Well, no, it's irrelevant who the coach is. It's OU Texas. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Like that's the hottest rivalry going like on the field right now in college football.
Man, I'm gonna say it, and nope, I'm not. Nope, not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. I'm gonna move on with the thought. Nope, not gonna bring this to life. But I mean, look at Nebraska. Nebraska tickets. I had some friends that we were seriously considering wanting to go to Nebraska for the away game, and Dad called me. He was like, "Bro, that I will purchase, but you have to like send me money immediately for it because they're $200 a pop."
Woo! Oh, that's cheap.
It's cheap, but when you consider gas prices, hotel prices, and food prices, and all that, woo, wow, that's pushing $500.
You want to go to Lincoln? You got to go to Lincoln. That's what you got to do.
I can wait. I have Big 12 stadiums.
I mean, we're playing them again in a few years, I guess.
Yeah, so. I can wait. I'm actually more wanting. That's actually what if Sean. Here's a question for you. We'll come back to this question probably in a couple of weeks. If you could go to any away games in the Big 12 right now, is there one you'd actually would like? Yeah, I'd go to it. Just to have fun there as an OU game for it.
I don't think there's any Big 12 road game that's going to compare to the Texas game.
Yeah. I said for me, I want to visit.
All due respect, like they're all, most of them are all toilets, especially Waco.
No, well, yes, Waco is a literal toilet
Texas,
seat, but...
Lubbock, Texas, no thanks.
Yeah.
I mean, like Manhattan, Kansas.
I enjoy Kansas. Now, I like the town and stuff when my friend and I went. I enjoyed it. The stadium is very much reminded me of an old high school stadium. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's what it was. I was like, oh, it's endearing.
Like, if we're talking old school Big 12, like OG Big 12, Nebraska, A&M, Colorado, those are the games I would like to have gone to at some point. But
well, Colorado, you just wanted to go because it's in Colorado.
I mean, no, it's Colorado. Colorado's a nice place. Like Boulder's a good town.
Yeah,
they get when they're good. Like they got a rowdy crowd. But like I did my annual. Listen, I always do my annual rewatch of like the 2000 season, like the marquee stuff, and it just every single year that goes by, it's like that team had no business winning a national title.
Really? But they were healthy. You've told me this before, where it's like
no. You don't understand. You don't understand. Like every year, because you have to put it in context. You have to put the entire season into context. And look, here's the thing with that 2000 year. I skipped the early non-conference games because they're all garbage games. They were going to win those regardless. You always start at Texas. And what I love about, if you go to LA Sooners YouTube page of the playlist, mm-hmm. He has all the games, but he also uploaded all the college game days, the big ones.
Yeah.
So what I like to do, I watch the college game days before I watch the OU games of those seasons. So
because they're fun. Because
the college game day for Texas, it wasn't at Texas, it was at like Florida State Miami. That was a huge Florida State Miami game that came down to the wire that set everything in tone.
Yep.
So the thing you gotta remember that 2000 season, it's a combination of like all those receivers were like converted defensive backs and running backs. Mm-hmm. Josh Heupel was, everyone loves Josh Heupel. The defense had one legitimate NFL player on it, and Roy Williams. At the end of the day, I mean, Derek Strait was a young and upcoming player. Torrance Marshall was great. Like everyone remembers Red October. Everyone talks about Red October. It's like, oh, how great Red October was. They beat Texas and they beat K-State and they killed Nebraska. Happy ending. No. November was a bitch. Like, people bitch about, like, Josh Heupel should have won the Heisman Trophy. When you actually go back and step by step watch the 2000 season,
he was injured.
Yes, he was injured, and that's why, but he should not have won the Heisman. Mm-hmm. And that's blasphemy for some people to be saying that, but I watched all those games in November. Now the A&M game, they escaped with their lives. They won that year, but
they escaped.
Well, no, even to the Texas Tech game, which I was at personally. They were.
Oh, so you were at that one?
I was at the Texas Tech 2000, the last home game. Even they kind of looked. So the problem,
but that was because
they had some injured. Well, Leach had some guy named Wes Welker causing trouble that day as well.
Oh, just a Wes Welker guy, just not an NFL star or something. No, it was. Didn't you have to get injured with A&M though?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. But here's the thing. He can't. OU turned that offense was struggling. They were turning the ball over left and right. That defense had to up their game every single week, and so you watch the A&M game, then you watch the Texas Tech game, then you watch the Bedlam game where Derek Strait had to save us at the last second with a knockdown pass. But why talk about watching the game days and the ESPN stuff? ESPN, the National College Football Media, was on a mission for OU they were wish casting for OU to lose because they weren't the magical Red October team anymore. They were the team that, okay, Cinderella, the clock has struck midnight, it's over. It was a great story, but what we really want to see is Florida State and Miami rematch. Yeah. We want to see the Florida State Miami rematch. And even up to the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
Guys, look. Dan Morgan of Miami, let's talk to you. I know you're rooting for K-State to win tonight, so you can get a rematch likely in the BCS championship, Florida State, blah, 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 this and that. Oh, I got a purple shirt I'll be wearing, blah, blah, blah. Listen, when Florida State if Oklahoma wins and Florida State goes to the Orange Bowl and Florida State beats Oklahoma, there's going to be a split national title after Miami beats Florida in the Sugar Bowl. That's all they were talking about, man.
Yeah.
Oklahoma was not supposed to be there because people forget that was still in the mindset of everyone back then. That was 1990s Oklahoma, man. That was garbage. John Blake, 1990s OU football. And the fact that Heupel gritted and just I know people talk about Red October and they talk about beating Florida State. People don't watch that Big 12 championship game enough or talk about that. That's a great
radar. Yeah, they had to.
It's a great football game, and I think what people also forget: Tim Duncan hit a 46-yard field goal to basically ice the game.
Yeah,
people forget not Santana Spurs. Tim Duncan, who was so kicker. Hit a 46-yarder. A 46-yarder to win that game or to seal it because it was 27-17 and with less than 2 seconds left, K-State scores a late garbage touchdown. It could have not been a garbage touchdown if he misses that kick and all of a sudden it's a tie game and we go into overtime. Oh shit, what's going to happen now? And then they go to the Orange Bowl, and then they play the defensive performance of their lives.
Yeah.
Because Heupel is doing okay, but they can't do much, if anything, against that Florida State defense.
But Florida State couldn't do anything against us either.
Exactly.
Well, we shut them down, too.
Well, because Bob was smart and put Roy Williams in a nickel/Roy back position.
Yeah.
And Bobby Bowden wasn't prepared for that. But
yeah, it was Roy and Terrence.
But it's you go. My point is, you go back after that month of November was a bitch. They should have lost at least 2 times.
Yeah,
they that team. That team had no business winning a national title. That's I'm not saying that I've been saying that's what makes them so special. That team, that is the most unlikely national championship team ever. And so, every year I go back and watch it because, everyone loves to relive Red October, and Red October is great. But, man, you watch those November games, man. And it's fun to go back and see what the mindset was of, ESPN and all the media. It's everyone was talking about Florida State Miami rematch or a split national title. No one was, Herb Street, when actually had a gun to his head when he was on the set at the Orange Bowl, said, look, I'm picking Oklahoma. They're a team of destiny, blah, blah, blah. And Corso picked against us every game day except Nebraska because of he put the skull mask thing on. Yep. But I'm telling you, man, that it is you go back, it's wow, people were shocked.
Yeah.
Well, no, but here's the thing. If you take a step out of the bubble a little bit and look at it somewhat objectively, I don't blame them for thinking the way they thought. Because OU did look like garbage a lot in November. because I was like, how the hell? Because I'm watching. I know they win this game. How the hell are they turning? Because they turned the ball over a lot, man.
Yeah,
The turnover, like those turnovers were just. Ugh.
Yeah, well, and you've mentioned it, and I guess I never thought about it until when I thought about it. Yeah,
every year I do it, I'm like,
not the November team. The November team struggled.
Well, dude, like the A&M game when like Jamar Toombs, like that monster back for A&M, like that, like the play I remember from that game outside of Torrance Marshall was that where he dragged like 3 or 4 OU players into the end zone. I'm like, oh God, I remember I watched that game live.
Does that game make you nervous even to this day?
Every time I watch that game, I think we're losing, dude.
Yeah,
that's how insane that game. Like every time I watch the anime, oh my God, we're gonna lose. Like when Jamar Toombs drags 3 or 4 guys into the end zone, and that crowd, that Aggie crowd, that Aggie crowd going effing nuts. It's just, dude, I think we're losing that game. I think we're losing that game, man. And so, but it's, and then you see Marshall, like, that's why like Torrance Marshall with that pick 6 is like an all-time like top 10 OU play ever.
Man, see, we gotta talk about that at some point. It's your top 10 all time.
I keep trying to make those videos, but they're so elaborate and take so much time.
You mean so outside of number 1 being Roy Williams?
Yeah, Roy Williams is number 1. That question, Texas game. Some people get legitimately mad at me when I say the Roy Williams play against Texas.
That's OU football. That is the definition.
And I'm just like, no, you're wrong. The Roy Williams, like, there is no other play that is more awesome that could change down the road.
Right.
People will try to say all these plays from 2000. Like, all due respect, like there were some good plays against Nebraska, but I don't know, like the signature. I mean, Quentin Griffin high stepping into the end zone against Florida State is great and all, but it wasn't like this amazing. No one could have made that play. The defense set up that play.
Now, are you talking about just the 2000 season or just in general? Because
like
for me, I will. There's things that you can't replicate.
Well, no, like Keith Jackson made so many big catches back in the day in the 80s that were huge. Keith Jackson was like, when people think making a big catch in Oklahoma historically, usually Keith Jackson goes to the top of the list. He was a tight end. Yeah. So,
man, see,
hang on, I got my list here somewhere. Let me see if
I'll throw in this one, and maybe I'm favored for it just because I saw it in person. That Eric Stryker against AJ McCarron. Gosh, that I cannot describe that moment. Or the Caleb Williams one. Like, there's some moments that you experience in person.
I know I got it here.
So yeah.
Hang on, I think I got it.
Teammate, you mentioned it. Yep. The strip sack, the scoop and score. I was there for it. Probably, I rank that up there in my top 3 games of all time, and 2 of them are Texas games. One of it is the one I went to last year because, as I always say, that last 16 minutes, you cannot describe the last 16 minutes. It is some of the batshit craziest. OU fan, like full on energy. Probably as closest is the jump around. I did not go to that one, but I know friends who did. They said it's close. The other one was 2000. I went to OU Texas 2000 with my dad. That was my first OU game.
This is top 3. Okay, this is old. Let me find. I know I got it. Like, because I know I've edited since then. Where is that thing? Where did I put that thing? Because that list is.
See, now you're looking for your list. Now, Sean, what games did you actually attend in 2000? You said Texas Tech, but what else?
Oh, just Tech. Because I had just moved back to Oklahoma as a kid, as a senior in high school, and it was one of those, like, my stepmother was willing to give up her ticket for me and my dad to go. It was the last home game, and it was like, oh, we'll beat Texas Tech, and they did, but it was like, come on, close.
Yeah. Sean, you're telling me that your all-time game is not spending time with me and the fam, going to that hot-ass Houston game in the end zone?
I just love that dude losing his mind over his guy getting mustard on his sneakers or whatever. That was hilarious. Like, that dude lost his mind. Broseph was mad that his mustard got in his kicks, man.
So you want to know the funny one? We talk about plays, and
okay, yeah,
you go. Yeah, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I know I've edited that. You know what? I think my updated one is on my MacBook. I'm getting a new battery for it, so I'll be picking up tomorrow or Tuesday. But my number, okay, like I got Roy Williams 1. I know number 2 for me, greatest like OU moments. Like these are moments, like not plays per se. I will put like the fourth quarter comeback against Nebraska in '86 up there. Is like
now you repeat that. You said this is OU moments, not necessarily even plays.
Well, I mean, the play I remember was like Keith Jackson catching the ball down the sideline to set up the game-winning field goal. But that fourth quarter against Nebraska in Lincoln in '86 is such old school, hard-hitting, smash-mouth football. It's like it's art. It's just like you watch it. It's like two option teams just like beating the crap out of each other. And then, and of course, like what ultimately wins the game is like a big pass down the field, one-handed catch by Keith Jackson. So, like the Smash Mouth football game, what wins the game essentially? A big pass down the field down the sideline. I mean, Von Schaman's kick against Ohio State, the Orange Bowl rematch against Nebraska. There's there's a lot of Nebraska moments in there. So,
I mean, Nebraska's our real rival, right, Sean?
Well, yeah, they actually have more. They've been garbage for 20 years and still have more national titles in Texas. I mean, it's true.
It's true. I don't deny it, but spitting fire.
I don't know where I put Eric Stryker's strip sack and fumble on AJ McCarron. It's going to be in my. I don't know if I put it top 10. That's tough.
Yeah, but can you replicate that exact moment though? I know why. It's because you like the squib kick afterwards.
Listen, you can't say squib kick. Is that like that's gonna like trigger some PTSD for some people? You can't do that. Yeah, the my top 10 is like the only modern top 10 moment I would put in the top 10 is Baker planting the flag at Ohio State. That's like a modern top 10 moment for OU football.
Well, what about jump around in 2008? Because that's a modern one too.
I can't put that top 10. Now for the younger people to be like, what? It's like I can't put that top 10.
Really?
I can't put that top 10. It'll be on the list. Don't get me wrong, but like top 25. I can't put that top 10.
Really? I figured you'd have that top 10.
No.
Wow, you got me on.
I was there. So like it's not like I didn't experience it firsthand and I don't understand the magic of that moment, but you got to remember like that moment would matter a lot more in my personal opinion, if the outcome at the end of the year was different.
Gotcha. Okay.
It would have helped a little bit, but and the same goes but the Baker flag plant is just so awesome. I think it was just a big middle finger. And I just love it. It was like we had some swagger that night.
Well, and that's something.
Well, there's so many like great, like Switzer's going to dominate this list because like you got like the hook and ladder against you got 76 Nebraska. I would put OU's defensive performance against Florida State on the top 10. Joe Washington's like a late TD and 2-point conversion against Mizzou in 75.
You can't forget the Pride though. You can't forget the Pride. The day the Pride won. Can't forget that one.
I have that like at 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
So, welcome back Oklahoma. OU beats Nebraska 2000. That's in my top 10.
Of course.
See. I look at that. That's a better home game moment to me than jump around.
Because it was
like the 2000 Nebraska game to me is like the best home field moment an OU's ever had, in my opinion.
Did you go to that one?
No,
you didn't.
No, I wish. I wish I was there. But no, like that dude, like I know we've expanded the stadium like twice over since then. You will never find a louder crowd reaction than when Josh Norman blocked that punt. You will not find one. When Josh Norman blocked that punt, like I think people would have died in the stands that day. Like hearing nothing, and they blocked it. Like, and they only got a field goal, which kind of sucked. It would have been great if they got a touchdown off of that, but they still they took the lead from that point and it was over. But like, to me, like that blocked punt, just like
it was the end of the Nebraska reign at that point.
Well, they were good a little bit the next year, but then they got their asses handed to them by Miami.
No. They did not get their asses handed. They were graced by the poll.
I mean, they beat us, and they beat us in Lincoln the next year. So I mean,
yeah,
I don't know. Jason tore his ACL in that game, so I don't know how. Offensively, they were just not good for a year or two. Like it took them a couple of years to get back to being good offensively.
So, yeah, 2003, and then
like most of my top 10, like there's gonna be a couple of Bob moments, but it's gonna be mostly. It's gonna be like a handful of Bob moments and mostly Switzer moments. Like there's like jump around is nice, but it's not my top 10. And people like it's a. I'm on that fringe of like remembering who Switzer was to seeing the entire Bob Stoops era up to now. So I grew up with Nebraska being a game that mattered, and I understood why that game was the way it was looked at. And like, imagine a big game played at noon Eastern, which was the game. They didn't have a lot of prime time. Like,
because they didn't install the lights until like 97, 98.
Well, no, it wasn't even that. It was just the fact that ABC had weird. Like they were trying to figure out like they wanted that game to be national, and so they canceled like Saturday morning cartoon programming for ABC that day.
And all the people wept.
Yeah, all Saturday morning cartoon or family content that morning was like canceled. They said no, well, That's So Raven will not be seen today for the Nebraska game.
The kids were disappointed. Oh, again?
Watch Oklahoma beat Nebraska. Everyone in the chat's talking doesn't give a shit about this. I was like, well, Colton Vasek committing tomorrow. I was like, yep, he is. And I'm just reminiscing about like, it was like every June, July, I always was like, time to rewatch old games.
Yeah.
You know what I haven't done though? I haven't watched many games from last year outside of one, which
Texas. If it's not Texas, I'm gonna be upset at you.
Of course, it's Texas, but it's still really hard to watch that game, considering the fact
it is. And I don't, I've expressed that to you. It is, but at the same time, for someone like myself who was there, different experience.
I need to make an edited version where I put a big blue dot over Caleb and Riley.
Just have the blue dot just like throughout the entire game.
And it's just like just go through just make highlights where I put like a big like censor bar over both of them, and it's like bleep out their names being mentioned.
That guy. Is there a game that you wish you could have gone to, and and I mean like being alive, not like 1971 where I wasn't even alive at that point.
Oh, like living in like.
Yeah, is there a game you missed that you really wanted to go to?
When I was in Afghanistan, I wished I had been to OU Texas like that year for 2007 because that was a fun game.
Yeah,
seeing DeMarco's big touchdown run and everything. God, any of the OU Texas games the past few years, I would have loved to have been at. Certainly, like I think. The truth about like those tickets are so damn expensive, like.
Well, you know how that goes.
I'm gonna like. Here's my thing. Like, I would have to like make a decision quick, but so it's like a couple of things happen. This is like totally not football related, but like I'm gonna say a dorky thing. An old anime series got relicensed for Blu-ray that's coming out next year, and I have the old DVDs, and the old DVDs are worth money, and I can sell them off, make a few bucks. So, long story short, I'm gonna do that at some point very soon. And there's a part of me, honestly, that wants to just say fuck it and jump on a plane and go to Dallas.
I mean, it's an experience. I've told everybody.
Well, yeah, I've been there multiple times, but it's like there's a part of me that is just wants to say fuck it. I'm going to Dallas. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get there, But part of me wants to say, fuck it, I'm going to Dallas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I've been in that game since 2010, and it's like it just depends. Like I would want to have a good seat. I would need to have a good seat.
See, you liked my seats last year, where I was up in the upper deck. We were in the back of the upper deck around the 20-yard line, I think it was. I saw the runs in on it. It was fantastic.
Yeah, you had a good spot, and that was a really good. That was a really good spot considering. So, yeah, I would like. Yeah,
my friend Kayla was happy because she's like, I finally attended a game where we won. This is neat.
No, but
she always thought, I got a story for you from it. Was we wanted to get pictures in front of Big Tex at the end before we left because you were about
and like 100,000, you and 100,000 other people want to do that.
Hey, so. I get it one time a year, but I handed she wanted a picture, and I was like, yeah, let's get some people a picture. So we got some fans to take some pictures, and it's like, all right, everybody say cheese, right, throw the horns down. She's like, walked away. Do you know what you just did? I'm like, no. I did what we do. We usually put. She's like, you threw the horns down in front of Texas fans. Oh, that makes it even better. Didn't even realize it.
Well, they're not people. They don't have feelings. But no, like I have.
John, just like you
said. Going to that game is like when you hear when you hear like we talk about SEC Media Days, or when you hear Kirby Smart talk about, yeah, I want to try to cancel the Jacksonville and try to make it home and home. I'm just like, really? And it's like because. There is a sect of people within like the Georgia fan base and the Florida fan base who don't care about Jacksonville. I mean, I think most of them do care, but it's like I've always made the arguments like, look, they used to play at the old Gator Bowl, and they don't anymore, and I think that matters to some people. So. I don't know. What do they call it now? It used to be Alltel State, whatever it's called now, but it's not the same for some of the older fans for that game. We still play at the damn Cotton Bowl, man, and it's a shitty garbage stadium that they still have to fix at times. But you know what? It's one of the last few great traditions in college football left. So if you're a tradition person, it's one of the very last ones left.
I would say, Sean, on the Cotton Bowl, it's not as bad as what you think it is now. It's okay. It's not the dumpster.
Back in my day, when I used to go a couple years in a row, they had porta potties out because the plumbing was broken.
Well, when I went, it overflowed, but that's another story. But they changed it. Like when I went last year, it was respectable. I'll put it that way. It's not.
I'm not saying. I mean, it's been 12 years. It's been like 12 years since I've been there. But yeah, it's like I have not been. I went there in 09 and 10. 10. I was like 9 was painful to see in person. 10 was good because we actually won. Thank God.
Man, you've been jealous of all
the James Winchester fumble muffed punt recovery where I'm just like, wait, what happened? Oh, we won. Fumble. We won. Woo! Woo! I was like, finally.
I think the weirdest one. So I've been to 2000. I was at 2011, that ass whooping. 2012, that ass whooping, and then last year.
See, that's what I need.
You need an ass whooping.
I'm not satisfied with just winning. I need their souls to be literally ripped out in front of them. Okay, and look, their souls have been ripped out, but I need to torture them. I want them. Like you saw the video of the Texas student like crying to the shoulder, crying like in his.
He never won in 4 years. He was there.
I can't come back as a student and watch them. Like I do things I probably shouldn't say on this stream while watching that video. I want them to suffer. I want every one of them to suffer like that every year. But I love watching that video of him crying his eyes out. It gives me pleasure. I hate them so much now, especially the way they've been acting this offseason. I need to see them suffer. I really, really do.
So here's the question, though, because I've been to both. would you rather go to a 2012 or a 2011 one where it's a complete and utter destruction?
I've never been to a blowout. I've never been to a blowout, so I want to see one.
It gets funny. I'm not gonna lie.
I bet it does.
Now, I will say,
because you'll be in the audience section, everyone's in a good mood, and everyone's just talking up how good the team is, and just everyone's having a good time. It's a chill third and fourth quarter. Yeah, I would love to do that.
I think,
but it has to develop into that first.
So that's a different one, because my 2001, that was raining and people left, but I think they left with the expectation of, yeah, we were going to lose this one. I need to ask Dad about it. He remembers it much better than I do, because I was only 10 at the time.
I think they still called it the Red River War back then. I could be wrong.
Red River Shootout, sir. I have the ticket stuff to prove it.
Okay, so they did call it the Shootout then. Okay, I knew they used to call it the War, and I think they changed it. So
because it's not friendly, now we have to change it to the Shootout, because apparently that's better. But then it was 2011. 2011, I think nobody saw that coming. So they're like, oh, okay, that was a thing. But that stadium was half clear. 2012 was when it was really funny watching them just get defeated. But man, last year,
because they blocked the extra point and got the 2 points.
Yeah, it was like 3-2. We're like, what is the hell is going on?
It was like 6-2. But when you got to halftime, it was almost kind of sad that they had 2 points. 0 would have been better than 2.
Yeah.
When you have 2 points, it almost feels more pathetic.
Yeah.
You're up 29-2. You're up 36-2. It's 2. It just even though you technically have points, it makes it look worse.
Yeah. I still say last year though, man, ripping it out.
Oh my god! Someone made a transparent image of Arch and Colton Vasek together.
That's fantastic.
Oh my god!
So what you're saying is
someone made a transparent image. Oh my god! Is this Texas forever at the bottom?
It's fantastic.
Oh my god! I gotta. Hang on. I gotta send this to you. Can I send this to you on here? I don't know if I can.
Either here or just tag me on Twitter.
Oh my god! I'll hang on. I'll DM you. I'll DM it to you.
Okay, but Sean, I'm. Each Texas one has had its own experience, and I like last year's.
Oh my god! I can make something with this tomorrow. Oh my god, that's so great!
This is fantastic.
This
is fantastic.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
Oh, dude. Your meme potential is about to go through the roof.
Oh, dude, the guy. Oh, the dude in the Discord who made this is awesome. I love you, dude. I love you, bro. I'm gonna ask his permission first.
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be glorious, Sean.
Brandon Drum said Renaud and Yates aren't committed, but are expected to be.
Cool. Neat.
I mean, just a couple of 4 stars. No big deal.
I know, right? Now, here's a question, Sean. I've been always meaning to ask you, but I always forget. Best crowd you've ever gone to?
Oh, well, you know the answer to that question.
Is it 2008 Tech?
Yeah.
I figure Texas, the ones like 2010 or something like that.
Divided. I mean, that here, you don't get the full home field experience though. When I'm talking, listen, this is kind of, as much as I hate Texas, I've said it on here before with fanatic perspective, everything. I love everything about that game, even the Texas portion of it. I love the percussion section of Texas, dun 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 dun, dun all that stuff. I love everything about it. Now because I just love the atmosphere. I love the combination of both teams, both fight songs and everything. It's just a perfect, football atmosphere. Love it. Now, having said that, I want us to win in the end. So
correct.
It's the only, I partially tolerate Texas fight song music a little bit.
So you would have enjoyed last year then, because
are you fucking kidding me? Of course I would have enjoyed last year.
What I mean by that is
died. I probably would have died. I literally would have died of I would have been so extreme both ways like
Let
internally.
me tell you to me, and you don't see it on a lot of the videos, and I have to find it, when the bands started the war back in each other, because then Texas fight, Boomer, so when that started, that got the crowd revved up. Like, I cannot.
You're talking about late in the game?
Yeah, in the last 16 minutes when OU was coming back, Texas fight started, and then the band started, Boomer Sooner started, and then it was like, Texas, Boomer, fight, Sooner, and it went for a good minute or two. Like, it was revved up.
Yeah,
one of the best game day atmospheres.
I wish there were, like, obviously there's like there is no in crowd footage of the Mims TV catch.
Oh, it was insane. It was fantastic.
I'm sure it was, but I bought the t-shirt, of course, but it's yeah, that's definitely something I want to see an ass whooping at some point for certain. Who knows? It could happen this year.
It could. It could. All I remember is that last 16 minutes was just the most glorious thing. Whatever.
And after that, all downhill from here.
Don't ruin the moment.
All downhill from here.
Now, the flip side. Now, Sean, I will say, I was going to bring this up on a later stream just to reminisce and stuff. The worst game crowd ever was the Kansas crowd last year.
Oh,
when they were announcing everybody get in here, I'm like, this can't be happening.
Yeah, all downhill from here.
Yep.
I was at the 05 OU Texas game. So
I'm so sorry.
Keith Jackson was calling the game, and Adrian Peterson had a high ankle sprain the week before against K-State, so we were screwed and missed out on Peterson not being there. Or he tried to play a few downs, but he couldn't do it. He couldn't play, and just got our asses handed to us. Which makes sense, because it's like OU lost 15 starters the year before.
Yeah,
Peterson was hurt, so it's like, yeah, this is like Texas is finally going to feel they're going to get vindicated. They're going to finally get their win.
Oh, and they did. They took it out on us just like Oklahoma State did in 2011.
I begged my dad to go. My dad was like, because I was in Augusta, Georgia at the time, because I was doing recon, because I was like in the Army recon. I wanted to get the hell out of Augusta, Georgia. He's like, please, we got to go. He's like, he knew deep down we weren't going to win that game, and he's like, okay, fine, we'll be good Sooner fans and go. He knew deep down, and so we went anyway.
Yeah,
and it's like, all right, we lost. Then we went the next year too and lost again, which sucked. But that 06 game, it's like we probably should have won that 06 game. Looking back on it, but it is what it is. We didn't. So
yeah, that's fair. What is that the single worst one you've been to? 2005.
Yeah, because we got our asses whooped.
Gotcha. And I'm not talking about just Texas. I mean, just in general.
Oh God. I mean, I went to that horrible Russell Athletic Bowl here in Orlando.
Oh, against Clemson.
Oh yeah, just. Ugh. I was like, that's when I came home, and I'm like, I'm Mr. Optimistic glass half full for OU football, and I'm like, people need to be fired. People need to be fired after this season. It's like, it's time for certain people to go.
See, I felt that way about Ohio State, but that was not the game that I was like, people need to get fired. The single worst game, Sean, that I've been to. And we won.
What?
We won it.
What game?
Army. That game, I was losing.
No, that's not what people need to get. No, because first of all, you don't schedule those games. It's stupid to schedule the academies. Don't do it.
But Sean, that's not American.
No, fuck that. Don't schedule the service academies that are going to cut your defensive lineman's knees out. Going to tear knees up because that's all they can do, because the service academies can't have 300-pound linemen, so they have to play option style football, and they slow it down. It's like, don't schedule them. I was like, oh, I want to go to West Point. Fuck that.
And you and I both know the dirty trick.
Don't
Army
schedule the service academies. You're wasting a week of your season on an offense you don't have to play against.
But Sean, the flyovers.
No, fuck that. I'm a veteran, goddammit, so I don't want to hear any shit about like hating the troops. I'm a troop, and I say fuck the troops, fuck the academies, fuck it. It is a waste of time. You're wasting an entire week of practice on a team you shouldn't be playing. I'm saying it right now. If you want to go to West Point, it ain't going anywhere. Go make a trip on your own one summer or whatever. Go check it out.
It's there. That's what
I think so. When COVID canceled West Point, I was like, good.
Good. Oh, don't let Red Dirt hear you say that.
Good.
He's so depressed.
I was like, good. We don't have to waste our time going through that shit again. The same thing happened against Air Force in 2010. We needed Landry Jones to make a first down, or else we were fucked.
Yeah, I was at that game too.
I
can't disagree with you because I was at both those games and every time.
Navy almost beat Ohio State one year in an opening game. Army almost beat Michigan a couple of years ago. Don't schedule the service academies.
Unless they're 0-10.
Make them cancel their football programs because no one wants to schedule them. I'm serious. Like, don't do it.
So you can say that though because you're a vet.
Yeah, I can get away with it because I served in OEF. Fuck the troops.
Yes, but you'll get on to people who will say in home of the Sooners. I'm just saying.
Oh, God.
That's another matter entirely. But no, that was one of the worst games because I have said Army should have won that game and they forgot what the forward pass was, as per tradition. But, worst game. That one in the Texas Tech 2011. That one sucks.
Do not schedule
because of the rain delay.
Period. Don't do it. Just saying. Don't do it.
Ugh.
Anyway, so yeah, that's
that was something.
I can get away with it. So anyway,
you can. So, Sean, I think it's time for us to wrap up. We've almost hit the 2-hour mark with this. So, Sean, any final thoughts or anything before next week live stream where we start previewing the season, start previewing the players?
We're doing this next week,
and the week after. And the week after that, Dad wants to join before the season starts.
Are you sure? I just disrespected our troops. They may not like me anymore.
Yeah, he'll be like, everybody gets one.
It's like Sean curses too much now. I'm done. It's not family friendly anymore.
It's okay. He goes to bed at 9:00 anyway. So
right.
He's like, I catch the first 30 hour and then I'm done. Thanks, Dad.
No,
so, any final thoughts, Sean, though? Anything before next week? Anything coming up on your channel?
I mean, I'm gonna react to Colton Bassett committing to OU tomorrow. Spoiler alert. I'd like to send a shout out and thanks to Colton Bassett for giving me my content for tomorrow because now I know what it's going to be.
Exactly. See, you've already got it.
I don't have to make something at noon or 1:00 and just make up something to talk about. It's like, oh, we have a commitment tomorrow at like 4:00 Eastern. So
see, that means you only have then 30 days left until kickoff, and at least a week of that's previewing the team. So there you go.
All I know is that recruiting is on fire right now, and we're actually in a dead period right now. So there's
because they can't contact. Yeah,
no more visits. So. I'm just looking forward to the excuses. I can't wait to hear the excuses. That's what I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Yeah, but you also have like a million receipts you're ready to send at this point.
I mean, I'm not the only one going to be doing it. So
it's going to be the best. It's going to be the best. Like I said, if we go like all the way, I cannot wait to see just everybody cashing it in. It's fantastic. People already have, and it's already been great. So, Sean, I want to thank you again for coming on to the show. Had a great time. Everybody, thanks for coming in as well. We had a very lively crowd tonight. Absolutely enjoyed y'all's comments and questions to the chat. I hope we got to all of them. If not, keep on throwing them in there. We'll probably see them next week. Be sure to comment, rate, subscribe, and hit the notification bell up at the corner so whenever I go live or have a video uploaded, y'all know when to go check everything out. As of tonight, we are officially back on the regular schedule starting this week. So, as far as I'm aware, either this week or next week, I will also be having a second live stream starting on Wednesdays. I'm going to be teaming up with my buddy Andrew and Justin. Y'all may have seen Justin last year during live streams for fantasy, but we're going to do more expanded OU content that we want to kind of split up into 3 segments. So either look forward to this week or next week for that starting. I have to finalize a couple more things with it. In addition, Gavin's going to join us in this, I think, one of the portions of it to talk about high school football for Oklahoma as well. So we'll have some good stuff for y'all on Wednesdays. Again, also be sure to visit Sean's channel, link in below. So that's all we got, guys, tonight. So Boomer Sooner, only one Oklahoma. I'll see y'all either this Wednesday or next Sunday. Hope y'all have a good weekend. Boomer.
Fuck the service academies. Fuck them.